with Apple Watch Series 8. What did they say? Well, we've got narrow borders, new watch faces. The display is going to be brighter. They said that it is swim-proof, dust-proof, crack-resistant, to which I was curious, what exactly does that mean? To what extent is it those things? They went on later to talk a little bit more about the actual rating. They talked a lot about the ability to track menstrual cycles for those that ovulate. And in order to do that, they had to get this sensor working alongside body temperature and how that changes, particularly overnight when you're sleeping. So it's constantly measuring your wrist temperature. They spent some time on this segment and used it as an opportunity to also sell the fact that Apple does a lot of its storage on device via encryption and so forth, and that Apple's not going to look at your sensitive data relating to your menstrual cycle. Actually, the way they showed it was pretty cool. I personally do not ovulate. However, I was looking at it and I'm like, that's pretty useful.
Okay, yeah.
And they put a little animation on it. A lot of people are doing this, and they've integrated it in such a fashion that maybe more people will use such things and keep track. Another thing they talked about, crash detection. They went out into the street in order to showcase this. There was no actual crash when he was out there, but he was out on a road, and they said, hey, these crashes typically occur in rural settings, and maybe if both parties that crash, or maybe one person crashes into an obstacle or rolls off the road or falls asleep at the wheel or whatever it happens to be, a lot of times if it's in a rural enough setting, there is no alert to anybody that this has transpired, and it might not be till the next morning that the individual is discovered. So this crash detection is using motion sensors, gyroscope, accelerometer, which have apparently been enhanced. Apparently they've been working on this feature for years in order to tell if a crash has taken place. And if it's determined, if the watch thinks, hey, this criteria has been met for the amount of force that would typically occur in a crash, then there's a prompt that comes up on the display. That prompt is going to ask you, hey, have you been in a crash? If you don't say no, much like an alarm system, we're going to notify the authorities and send help, essentially. Well, the authorities would have to send the help. So, yes, there was a big element in this presentation of all the things that can kill you, from the crashes to the getting lost to being in the desert and climbing the mountains and such, and all the ways in which Apple's going to save your life so you buy their product and you don't die.
Sure.
You can also save the environment while you're at it. We all sensed this undertone, which actually turned into more of an overtone. Technology will save you. Anyhow, crash detection, just one more way it's going to save you. More exciting to me is the low power mode, since there's very few chances I'm going to be caught in the desert, Will.
Yes.
Low power mode is going to give up to 36 hours of battery life, which sounds good, 3 days, but then it's not so good when you put it up against this new Ultra model, which I'll talk more about later on. This 36-hour battery mode, low power mode, is obviously going to alter the behavior of the watch into, like, certain features are obviously going to be suppressed in order to achieve that. Get 18 hours all-day battery life and up to 36 hours with a new low-power mode, great for occasions when you're away from your charger, like a long flight. Anyway, this is going to restrict some features in order to deliver that extended battery, which I could see myself using that if I wasn't more interested in the Ultra model. There's now international roaming on the cellular version of Series 8. 4 colors are going to be available: midnight, starlight, silver, and red. That's for the aluminum models. You're also going to have stainless colors: silver, gold, and graphite. There will be new Nike bands, new Nike watch faces, and of course, for the luxury heads, there will be a new Apple Watch Hermes. It'll start at $399 for the non-cellular version and then $499 for cellular. You can order the Apple Watch Series 8 today and you will get it September 16th. Let's move on to the Apple Watch SE. This was by far the shortest segment of the entire event today. They were just like, and Apple Watch SE, save some cash. Silver Midnight Starlight, same processor as the Series 8, but at a savings. You can tell the display's not as nice and a number of other things. They were kind of pitching this as the family Apple Watch to get for your children. The children were messaging back and forth. $249 non-cellular, $299 cellular. Also, order this today and get it September 16th.